our prayers, we worship a very strong female goddess called Lakshmi. Because in Indian household, they say that women are Lord Lakshmi because they bring wealth, prosperity, and happiness, good luck to the family.
A woman's journey from India to Germany.
I love my husband, but I would say food is my first love.
A search for passion, purpose, and belonging.
So there was a lot of expectation and there was a lot of pressure. When you succeed, everyone likes you, but if you fail, there are very less people who actually support you.
I'm very strong, and even in the most stressful situations or emotional situations, I don't kind of cry. But this was just very unexpected.
Prateek Reen moved to Germany in 2015. She's returned to her native India for a visit and is heading to the shopping area, Chutney in Delhi.
This is the oldest part of Delhi, which is, you can say it's the heart of Delhi.
There are more than 1,500 shops and food stands in Chutney.
Thank you so much.
All around, the air is thick with the smells, colours and sounds of Indian cuisine.
This place has been around for 1940. This is one of the oldest shops, and they are particularly, famous for one dish, which is the dahi bhalla. Just a small dumpling like a donut, dipped in plain yogurt with a few, like a chutney on top and some basic spices. This is the place which is the best in India for this particular dish.
And this is how the dish looks in Prateek's restaurant, Madam Chutney. Madam Chutney lies in central Munich. Prateek arrives every day at 11 a.m. and leaves well after midnight. She wanted to bring true Indian food to Germany, the kind you find on street corners in Delhi or Mumbai. All dishes are made without any flavor enhancers or food coloring. 9 chefs work each shift under her direction.
I had not imagined at that point that she'd be able to do the amount of work that it actually requires. But for me, the commitment that she showed, it meant that, yeah, let her try this venture out.
These days, people come from all over Europe to eat here. But the beginning wasn't easy.
When I was setting up a restaurant, being a woman setting up, entering an industry which is, I would say, a very male-dominant industry, and people, kind of calling you and checking who you are, you are like a newbie who is starting a business, a female entering a gastronomic industry. So those pressures, so it kind of makes you think. Everyone is just looking at you, and even if your employees, even the customers, even these calls, your family, everyone is just looking at you and they're just expecting something out of you. The morning walks used to be the most stressful time. I'm crying all the time. During work also, sometimes when there's too much pressure, I go to the ladies' bathroom and I kind of shed some tears. And for the walk also in the morning when I'm jogging, sometimes, when some bad thought comes, I have cried a number of times in the morning. Because, sometimes you don't want to cry in front of someone, you just need your own space. So while jogging, a lot of people have seen me crying,
Prateek used to live in Delhi and work in marketing. Then in 2015, her new husband got a job in Germany.
I had just gotten married exactly 6 days before I moved to Munich. And for getting married, I had to, stop working because the wedding was happening, and there was already planned that, that my husband is in Germany, so I'll be moving with him. So all of a sudden, in a very short time, stopped working. I was looking forward to the marriage, but that transition of, moving to another country where you don't know anyone, family, friends, not being independent for some time, I think that was a hard hit for me initially. And the first year I even told my husband that, I don't want to live here, I want to go back.
She missed her native languages, her culture, family and friends. And she missed authentic Indian food.
This is moong dal halwa, one of a very popular Speisen in this part of Delhi. It's made of very basic ingredients like lentil and the clarified butter, which is the ghee. But it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort to make this recipe.
She now makes this dessert or Nachspeise in Munich.
I always want to go back to the origin of the recipe, the authenticity. I think that essence is very important when you try to recreate that dish. There was something very major missing when I moved to Germany. That feeling of belonging, I would say. I felt depressed, started calling more back home, trying to stay connected with the family. Started calling my mom, especially for food, that okay, I want to recreate your recipes. Please tell me so that I start feeling at home. So it was a very major part for me, getting my food and try to recreate it and, feed myself.
Step by step, her mother taught her to cook.
I'm going to cook a very special recipe, which is kind of very nostalgic for me because I've grown up eating this.
They would connect over food across the distance.
We started coming on video calls. So I used to put her on the call and then she used to tell me, okay, now put this, put the flame over, put ghee, put the spices, roast the spices separately. So all these small tricks. Just try it.
In 2017, Prateek opened her first restaurant in the north of Munich.
I'm actually revisiting this place after 4 years. It feels so different and there's so many memories that are coming back. A couple of things have changed, but yeah. Few things that I got, they're still there. I found a very old picture for you. This is when I just started, and if you look at the logo, this has a auto rickshaw. So this is real me inside the kitchen. I not only cook, I also eat a lot, so you can see that. But at this time, I was doing everything from the shopping to cooking every dish, also serving, talking to the customers, taking their feedbacks, also cleaning, putting everything aside, the leftovers, cleaning the kitchen. So there was a lot going on that time.
Business was slow in the beginning, but that soon changed.
It was getting very crowded, and because of the limited seating, people had to wait for more than an hour, sometimes on the weekend, on a Saturday for 2 hours. That time I realized that, okay, now it's time to serve to a wider audience.
Prateek was born in 1986 in Shimla, a village in the foothills of the Himalayas. Her father ran a modest construction business while her mother cared for the home. Her grandmother, a farmer, provided food for the entire family. These days, to visit home, Prateek has to take a plane, and then it's another 11 hours by road.
I'm actually from a very small town in Shimla, like a small hill girl. coming from a small town, having very limited resources and, having big dreams at that point. To get there, 1 minute. 1 minute. 1
minute. It's been 1 whole year since she's seen her parents.
Mama? Mama? क्या हो गया? क्यों हो गया? मेरा बच्चा पापा का बच्चा खास बच्चा पापा का। हाँ जी, और सब सही, फिट एंड फैट।
इंडिया में लड़के रेस्टोरेंट चलाते हैं, ये म्यूनिक में।
In India, restaurants are run by men. The fact that she was able to set this up in Munich makes me so happy. I feel very proud that she is able to do such great work in a foreign country. I feel all young girls can learn something from her.
इससे कुछ सीखे।
My father was a very hardworking man. He really loved his kids. He was one person in the family who was supporting his family. There were 7 siblings. He was very clear with the kids that don't think that you will get things, on a platter from me. You have to make your journey. And he kept us very humble. He was very clear on his principles. I'll support you with your dreams, but you have to build your dreams.
The Sikh temple or Gurdwara of Shimla. Prateek's grandfather served as a worship leader here. Every evening, the community gathers for a religious ceremony, singing hymns from the Sikh holy book. In her early years, she lived within the temple's walls.
I was born in this building, and this Gurdwara is very close to my heart because my grandfather was the head priest for this Gurdwara for 40 years. And I've spent most of my childhood, on the weekends here doing seva in the kitchen and then playing here, even, just playing around with my cousins. So all those memories just flashed back. There's just tears of memories, I would say. Because time is just flying, and all of a sudden I was like, I was here, I was born right here. I was born, and I've spent so much time, but it just looks unreal that where I am now, and from here I went, and it looks like a dream that as a kid, how innocent and how simple my life was. So I really miss my childhood.
The community kitchen or langar. Everyone cooks together here.
I think this is a very strong feeling of empathy that I have learned from my grandparents, that I just wanted to do something for the community. And when I started cooking for the very first time in the community kitchen, I was just giving my best to make food for the community, for someone who needed it.
In Sikhism, the langar serves as a reminder that everyone belongs to the same human family and should be treated equally. Anyone can eat here for free, no matter who they are. It's here that Prateek learned the value of caring for others by preparing and providing food. Back in Munich, preparations are underway for the opening of her second restaurant.
The first thing I noticed was that the roof is very high. And in the existing location, we have these lights that are hanging, which gives a feeling of street. Because in India, when you walk on the streets, you see a lot of wires falling from the, from the poles, in the electric wires, some other wires, and it's very chaotic.
To improve her German skills, she takes classes once a week.
Hallo. Hallo Prateek.
Hi Prateek, how are you?
Wie geht's?
Good, thanks. And you?
Und selbst?
Auch gut.
I'm good, Prateek. Last time you told me you were flying to India for the Diwali festival.
Ich fliege für
Yes, I'm flying for a week and meeting my family and friends.
Family und friend.
Crunchy is knusprig.
Knusprig.
Yeah,
Knusprig.
that's funny to speak.
Knusprig.
Köstlich.
Kostlich.
Köstlich.
Kostlich.
Gut. Jetzt sagst
Now
du
you
noch
say it
einmal.
again.
Knusprig.
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 This is where Prateek began her education, in St. Bede's College, Shimla. In patriarchal India, this all-girls school builds up self-esteem in its pupils from a young age. Prateek is meeting her former English teacher.
Good, ma'am. Really good to see you.
Wow, I'm seeing you after so many years.
I actually did not come back after 2008.
Yes, that's right. And I got your message. Lovely to know that you're here.
Yes, ma'am.
So good. We make them realize that whatever they do, they should never feel that they are pushed down or pressed down by anyone.
Prateek says she owes a great deal to her school, and pretty much all her former classmates went on to have successful careers. She's meeting some of her school friends in a restaurant. They've travelled all the way from Mumbai and Delhi for the reunion.
We've already ordered some food.
Thank you, you made it. I'm so glad you did, yeah.
Come. You already ordered some food. Yeah.
We've already ordered food. All the teachers, they remember all of us. Yes.
These women have all carved paths for themselves. They work as film producers, teachers, coaches, and start-up entrepreneurs.
It's about equal opportunities. It's having access to the basics, education, and not putting your life on hold. Even if they've married, she's married. Two of them have kids, but they've not given up on their dreams. I have not heard of any person in this entire city who has managed to create such a successful business all the way in Munich,
Come on. Are you crazy? Everything. Sister, you're my oldest friend.
Shimla is known for its narrow, winding alleyways. Here too, kiosks that specialise in just one dish abound. Prateek heads for the Sharma Chaat shop, where they have been using the same recipes for almost 90 years.
Our For generations, they've been coming here. My dad used to come with his siblings. I used to come with my sibling, my friends. So this was like a hot spot for having the street food. My favorite over here is actually chana bhatura, which I also have on their menu.
The bread, bhatura, puffs up like a balloon in the hot oil. It's eaten with chickpea curry. The bread should be served hot before it deflates.
When I moved to Munich, the first thing I wanted to recreate or make it myself was chana bhatura.
That first year in Germany, Prateek felt so low she barely left the house. But during the second year, she learned to cook. And by the third year, she had begun her new life. She wants her restaurants to feel like contemporary India.
I'm always very excited to hear. So this is something I got from India. Different sizes. Yes, these are the correct ones. Okay.
It's just like this.
In my family, women are definitely very strong and we were treated equally as men. So I think that growing up kind of gave me that power, that as a woman, that, I'm not any less and I can do, anything that a man can do.
Prateek's mother is cooking a dish with the last of an ingredient given to her by her own mother. It's a very special dish from her childhood, called rajma.
My mother would give me rice and rajma from her own harvest every year. She gave me some last winter, just before she passed away. I saved a small amount for my daughter. And now that she's here, I want to make rajma for her. Today I'm passing on the love my mother had for me to my own daughter.
When my mom, she cooked that last batch of beans for me. While she was cooking, I did not realize, but she had saved that for me, And this was like a 1-year-old batch that she cooked. So imagine that emotion she wanted to share with me, that it came from her mom and she wanted to save it for her daughter.
A photo from Prateek's wedding day with her grandmother.
Sometimes I think about how far away I was when my mother died, and how, if something were to happen to me, my daughter is so far away. That's the only thing I struggle with regarding the distance. Besides that, I don't feel bad that our children live far away, but if something were to happen, would my children be close to me or not? This thought sometimes comes to my mind. But then I feel that there are millions of people who live far away from home. My children are still close to me, so if ever I need them, if I reach out to them, my children will be there for me.
Food as home. Indian cuisine has dozens of aromatic flavors, such as betel leaf or pan.
I'm getting a pan. Pan is a very quintessential Indian flavor. And it's a part of the Indian lifestyle, a part of the Indian culture. People really like to have it when they're out for a walk, and especially after a meal. They really like the freshness of pan. Thank you.
The delicate leaf loses its freshness quickly.
Thank you, Bhaiya. For me, it was very important to get this flavor in Munich, and so I had to kind of deconstruct the pan and freeze it in real time so that I can transport it to Munich. So now we have a homemade fresh pan ice cream that we serve at Madam Chutney.
With candied fennel seeds and a dash of rose syrup.
This is one of the most popular desserts that we have, and you don't get it anywhere in Germany.
Prateek recruits her chefs in Delhi. Madam Chutney has become known among chefs here. She meets all candidates personally, as she needs to make sure that her staff will be happy working for a woman.
When they come and they meet me for the first time for an interview, I can see that they have a very different perception. And they're not used to taking, instructions or, I wouldn't say orders, they're not used to working under a female boss. But whenever I get a new chef, and I can see that change in a very short span of time when they see me working with them.
The Festival of Lights, Diwali. It's arguably the biggest festival in India. And Prateek decorates the house of her parents-in-law in Delhi. She uses crushed plant powder to make a rangoli.
Traditional Diwali party. This is the best time to be in India, and this is where we meet our old friends, and it's very festive. I think the best time to be home.
Diwali,
Happy
guys.
Diwali.
Happy Diwali.
Happy Diwali.
The party is in South Delhi. Many of the guests are childhood friends of Prateek's husband, Manav. Some gamble a little, as Lakshmi is also celebrated on Diwali, and she is the Hindu goddess of good fortune. Tonight it's Prateek's turn to be a guest. Usually she's the one serving others. And she's very aware of the effort going on behind the scenes.
I think everyone has a job, and there is no shame in doing any job. The only thing is, whatever you do it with your heart and give in your best. There are no shortcuts to anything. There's no shortcut to success. And I would just say that every job is equally important.
Back in Munich, in her new restaurant, just before opening day.
The same excitement I used to have as a kid, preparing in the kitchen and working in the kitchen. The same excitement I had the first day I opened Madam Chutney at Alta Heidi, and when I'm opening another store today, I still have those goosebumps. When I landed in Germany, that feeling of belonging was definitely missing. So I think that feeling of acceptance definitely came with work. If you see in the very beginning how it all started, it was very, very different.
Prateek still remembers how poor her family was after they lost everything in a fire. Her father gave their last 100 rupees, around €1, to her mother to buy milk and bread for the children. There were many challenges along the way, but they have brought her to where she is. A woman moving forward without leaving her heritage behind.